y'all? It's your boy Tysoinspirational back with another video, and today we're gonna talk about being in the military. So, first things first, I'm going to why I joined, and then after that, I'm gonna dissect into 10 cons, because you want to hear the bad news first, and then 10 pros on why you should or shouldn't join. All right, so going straight into it, why I joined. So coming out of high school, didn't really have a plan. Typical high schooler, they don't really know what they're gonna do after high school. So I just kind of assumed things were just gonna fall in place, and that's not how life works at all. So have a plan when you're in high school, what you want to do, or having that idea at least. So me personally, I wasn't the type to necessarily work through high school. I just wanted to play sports. I was a wrestler, played a little bit of football, and tried basketball, but basketball wasn't it back then. I just wasn't cooking like that. But we cooking now, so it don't matter. Anyways, yeah, so I went through high school, graduated, and then I got my first job after I graduated high school. I was working at FedEx, doing warehouse stuff, and it was only seasonal, so I was there for a short time. On to the next job. Moved on to I did a couple other things in between that, but like a few seasonal jobs in between that, but I'm not gonna go through all that. Anyways, last job I had before I ended up deciding I wanted to join was Toys R Us. So luckily I dipped out right before they closed down, so God looking out, because that'd have been bad. So I just wasn't happy with, my position there and like how much I was getting paid and stuff. So I was like, I gotta do something. So initially I was thinking, go to community college, do my little 2 years, get my associates, and then, go to university. But I ain't had the bread for all that. And I wasn't gonna sit there and rely on mama, because mama got 5 other children she got to worry about. I'm the oldest, so I'm not gonna sit there and put that pressure on her. So then came the military. My uncle and my grandfather were in the military, so they kind of had a little bit of insight of what I could expect, and they kind of guided me through, the process. So going up to the recruiter, recruiters gonna play games with you. They have one job and one job only, and that's to meet their quota. There's certain jobs and positions they gotta fill in, and at the end of the day, that's all they're mainly trying to do. There's some out there that are really good, and they trying to get you what you want, but majority of the time they're trying to sell you whatever, So you want to go into the office with the mindset of, this is the job I want to work, and I'm not accepting nothing else. So me personally, I wanted to be in the medical field. So what I currently do right now is I'm in the medical field in the Navy. And so far I've been enjoying it. Like, it's honestly cake. Like, the hardest part of it was boot camp, and boot camp wasn't hard at all. It was all just mental games that they play with you, because physically, I was prepared for it, but yeah, that's all it was to it. And yeah, so one day I was just like, I gotta get out of mama's house. I can't sit here and keep relying on mama, because like I said before, she got 5 other kids that she gotta worry about. So I decided it was trying to be to get out, be on my own, be independent, and work myself up from there. So I joined, and here we are now, 3 years later. But all right, we gonna hop into these cons right quick. I'm gonna looking down at my computer while I give y'all these. So number 1, these aren't necessarily in order of worst to best or anything like that. It's just, I got 10 and 10. So starting off with downfall. The side duties you gotta do. So you have your main job or whatever. Like me, I'm in the medical field, and then like you'll have like side assignments that you gotta do depending on where you're at and where you're stationed and stuff. But one thing a lot of people have in common, one side duty is cleaning. It doesn't matter what field or job that you work. Me personally, I'm in medical field, so course, we gonna have to, be clean, sterile, and stuff. So that's not too much for me. But for other jobs, yeah, you're gonna do a lot of fucking cleaning, a lot. Like, so if you're not the type that likes to clean, that's tough. Be ready to adapt because you're gonna be doing that a lot. Next thing is you can't just quit. You know how you could just walk up to, Jeff, the manager at Publix, be like, yo, I'm out here. I'm not putting in my 2 weeks. I'm just out. And you just go ghost. You can't do that in the military. Once you sign on that dotted line, the government has your soul. Your soul is owed to the government until your time is up, basically. There's a couple of ways you can get out, but I'm not really gonna get into that. But you stuck. So think about that before you decide to join. Next thing, leadership and coworkers. This one, for me personally, I never really had that bad person to be around for long periods of time. Like I've had people that, it's like, oh, this guy being around this person, But I would say I wouldn't have to deal with them for like I said, long periods of time. Like it was like short instances like throughout these whole 3 years. But overall, like I really had some dope people that I worked with in every like area I've had to work in. It's been enjoyable, you get attached and people become like your second family. So it's been cool. Next thing, lengthy deployments. Me personally, I haven't gone through this either, so I can't really speak too much on it, but I can kind of speak on another part of it, which is being away from your dependents, what they call in the military, which is your children or your spouse, wife, whatever. Being away from my daughters has been trash. Like, I feel like that dad that is just not around at all, and it sucks. I can call all I want, but at the end of the day, she's not at the age where she's like focused on one thing. She's kind of like all over the place, just wanting to get into everything. So it's like 9 times out of 10 when I do call her, she's not paying me no mind. So yeah, being away from your family and friends and all that, like back home, it's gonna be an adjustment. You sometimes you're gonna feel like you alone, you're on your own, and it's just kind of wherever you go, you kind of gotta get attached with people, meet people and become friends and chill with them. Cause like I said, you're gonna feel alone at times. Next thing, the possibility of going to war. Thankfully, I haven't had to deal with this yet, and hopefully it doesn't have to happen. But yeah, just know there's a possibility you could go to war. I'm gonna leave it at that. Biting your tongue sometimes. So one of my nurses, he told me this thing. He said, he asked me this question. He was like, is that the hill you want to die on? And basically what he was insinuating with that is there's battles you can choose, especially while being in the military, where you have to get your point across to people, and it's like your leadership mainly with your bosses, essentially. So there's times where you just gonna want to curse them the hell out, but you can't do that. So you gotta pick your battles wisely, and there's ways of going out, reaching out to people, and it's called handling at the lowest level, which means you face-to-face talk with that person about the issues you have with them. Highly recommended. But yeah, you're gonna have to bite your tongue because there's gonna be a lot of stuff you gotta deal with, and you just gonna have to deal with it. I'm gonna just leave that at that too. Next thing, they may not have the job you want, so you may come in and probably not gonna have the job that you want to sign up for. Maybe something close to it, but it won't be exactly. So you're gonna have to deal with that as well. Next thing, you have to meet the requirements to join or stay in. So there's quite a bit of strict rules and stuff to get in, and requirements that are required, like health-wise and stuff. And if you don't meet that, and like age as well is another factor. So if you don't meet those requirements, you may not even be able to get in. And then while you're in, if for whatever reason you get out of those required standards, you may get the boot and get kicked out. So you gotta be on top of your stuff. Uh, this is a big one. Transitioning and learning to adapt. The model, I wouldn't say it's the model, but a lot of people say be flexible. So you say be flexible, you're gonna be you have to be flexible as hell, because a lot of stuff that you go through, you gotta be able to adjust to it on the fly and kind of deal with things that are going on. And you really don't have too much say so on it. You just kind of gotta roll with the punches and deal with it. This kind of ties into the other thing, doing silly things. I remember one time they had this thing, it's called fog walk down. So what you do essentially is you're picking up trash that's on the ground. So they have us lined up, and what they had to do was they took one step, like step. So you took a step, right? You look down at the ground. If there's anything on the ground, you pick it up, right? Like trash, debris, anything like that. It basically doesn't belong in the parking lot or the grass, wherever you were doing it at. So we would pick it up if it was there. If there was nothing, you look back up and you wait for the command to take a step again. We did this for like a whole hour. When I say one of the saltiest experiences I had, yeah, that's like up there. Another one, more recent, the ship that I'm on caught on fire, so it's like tilted. So there was water in some of the compartments, and we had to, grab a bucket and like sit there and scoop the water out, right? And then it got so low to the point where you can't really scoop it out no more. So guess what I had to do? Cut the top off a water bottle and scoop it up. And I was scooping water for like a good 30 minutes with that water bottle, because it was probably like, what, ankle height for 30 minutes, because they basically didn't want any water in that area. So there's a lot of silly things you got to deal with. And then last thing, rules and regulations. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of rules and regulations you got to abide by. And if you don't, some of them can get your ass in trouble. And then some of them can cost you some cheddar and some of your freedom. So just keep that in mind. So that's all the bad. So let's go on the bright side. Let's look at the good now. College. I'm not sure if everybody knows this, but you get college benefits from being in the military. After, I want to say 3 years. No, I lied. Yeah, 3 years. You can, if you decide not to do any college while you're in, you can get out after your contract's done. But you gotta serve a minimum of 3 years. And then you can go out and use your GI Bill, which I want to say it pays up to 36 months of education, so 3 years. And then another thing, while you're in and you're doing your thing, if you're active duty, I don't know if it's the same for reserves, I'm not sure, but active duty, they have this thing called tuition assistance. So you can use tuition assistance and you're not paying a dime, because the military is paying for your college. Paying to get your knowledge up. Take advantage of it. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, if you already have debt and you come into the military, there's a good percentage of that the military will pay off for you. So they help you get you out of debt. Use your resources. All right, so next thing, certificates. I'm not gonna touch too deep on this one, but basically just, like for me, for example, I'm gonna use me. So in the medical field, it's like, y'all know, it's just broad as hell. Like there's so many different things you can do. Like there's like stuff I could just like watch people or shadow, basically. So I could go watch someone, like for example, drawing blood and doing all that. And I could become a phlebotomist, which I'm just sitting there drawing blood and stuff. Or I could go, shadow someone for X amount of hours that's doing x-rays, and maybe get a little certificate for being an x-ray technician. So there's a lot of routes that you can go with that, and they translate over to the civilian world. So if you do happen to get out, you have something for you on the outside. Health and dental care. I don't think it's free. I think it's like a small, very small portion, because that's your paycheck, but you barely notice it. your health and dental's paid for. Job security. Big one right here, especially with what's going on right now, COVID. You don't gotta worry about not getting your check, because you always gonna get your check, you know, and you gotta worry about losing your job, because as long as you do what you're supposed to do, you're gonna always have your job. So, job security. Traveling, see the world. I've definitely saw a lot of the world. I've been stationed in 3 different places so far. Virginia, actually, no. I mean, long periods of time, yeah. Virginia, Florida, and then California now. But short periods of time, I was in Chicago, Texas, and yeah, that's it. So, like for me, for example, I didn't really have nothing going on for me. It can be a foundation or stepping stone for what you want to do in life. So if you want to do something that requires college, you can go into the military, get your college paid, and then there you go. Helps you, it's like a little pathway to get you to where you want to be. And then some of the jobs, like I said, they can translate out into the civilian world depending on what you do and the certificates that you get. 30 days of paid vacation. So every month, I want to say you get 2.5 days of paid vacation leave. And then also what comes with that is unlimited sick leave. So say, for example, if you, for whatever reason, have, you know, life hits us on many different ways. You'll have car problems, you'll have maybe problems with your child at home or anything like that. People in the military are very understanding. All you gotta do is communicate. It's better to over communicate than under communicate, of course. But as long as you communicate your issues, 9 times out of 10, say like you're having car problems, they'll allow you to take the day off of work to go get your car situated. And that's not going to affect your paycheck in any way, shape, or form, or take away sick leave, because, like I said, it's unlimited. This one I don't know too much about, but I'm gonna just say it. Special home loans and discounts. So discounts, you know, military discount, you go to a restaurant or wherever, and, you know, military discount, you get your little 10% or whatever. It may not seem like a lot, but it adds up over time. As far as the home loans and stuff, I know they have the VA loan, like whenever you get out of the military, they have that loan. As far as being in, I'm not too sure about that. Like I said, y'all do y'all research on that, but I just wanted to put it out there. And then last thing is retirement and 401k. So as far as that goes, you know, if you will do your 20 years, you get your little check every month. And then for the 401k, there's Roth and TSP. So if you decide to contribute some of your paycheck to that, I want to say they match up to 3% of it. Yeah, 3% of it. And then 2% is like 50%. So for every $3 you put in, they're going to match it with $3. And then with the 2%, that's only 50. So it's going to be 50%. And that is everything that I have. So y'all got questions, comments, concerns, drop it down or hit me on my Instagram at Tysoinspirational. But that's all I got. You know, being in the military overall, like, I feel like it's a good leeway for people, especially if you kind of in a dead end zone and you don't kind of know what you want to do with yourself in life. Like I said, there's stuff you got to deal with that's petty and dumb, but that just comes with life. You know, there's always something that's going to be going on that you got to kind of deal with. And, you know, so that's all I got for y'all. Alpha out. Y'all please take care of yourselves. Stay up.